Hey students, in my previous video I had already discussed about various concepts of cost of production. Now today in this video let us discuss about classification of production cost. So as it can be seen over here that a production cost can be classified mainly into two types. First one is short run production cost and second one is long run production cost. Again, this short run production cost is further classified as fixed cost and variable cost. However, further fixed cost and variable cost can be classified as average fixed cost as well as average variable cost. But because it is not a part of our syllabus now, so I have not mentioned it over here. Now let us discuss about fixed cost first of all. With the increase or decrease in production, there is no change in cost is known as fixed cost. So as the name itself suggests that this is something which is fixed. This is such a cost which remains fixed. And whether production increases or it decreases, or even if the production is zero, no units are produced, then also when there is no change in cost, then this kind of cost is said to be fixed cost. Fixed cost is also known as overhead cost. That means fixed cost does not have any relation with the units of production. Production may increase or it may decrease, but there would be no change in fixed cost. Say for example, rent of factory building, license fee, insurance premium, etc. Now in order to understand this concept of fixed cost in a better way, a schedule has been given over here, and as seen in the schedule, even when the production was zero and also when the production increases from 0 to 50 units, then also fixed cost remains the same. When production was 0, then also fixed cost was 100, and similarly when production increased from 0 to 50 units, then also fixed cost remained the same, it was same rupees 100. So as said earlier, that even when production increases or even when production remains zero, when there is no change in cost, then such kind of cost is said to be fixed cost. Now on the basis of this schedule, a diagram has been prepared over here. So as seen in the diagram, that again on the x-axis units of output has been shown, and on y-axis fixed cost has been shown. And as it can be seen over here, that even when the production increases, but this fixed cost remains the same, and therefore we get a line which is exactly parallel to x-axis, and this line itself is said to be fixed cost curve. So we may say that total fixed cost curve is parallel to x-axis. Now talking about variable cost, so before moving to variable cost, let us come to know what do we mean by variable factors. So variable factors are those factors which can be changed in a short period of time. Say for example, like raw material, extra laborers, fuel, and whatever expenditure is incurred on variable factors by producer is said to be variable cost. Also, with the increase in production, cost also increases, and with the decrease in production, cost also decreases. And if production is zero, then cost is also zero. It is known as variable cost. That means with a increase in production, this cost will increase. With a decrease in production, this cost will decrease. And when production itself is zero, this cost would also remain zero. Then it is said to be variable cost. And therefore variable cost is also known as unstable or direct or main cost. So because variable cost does not remain fixed like the fixed cost, it keeps changing. It is variable, in fact, we may say. So it is also known as unstable cost. And because it has a direct relation with production, because due to an increase in production there is an increase, due to a decrease in production there is a decrease in variable cost. So we may say that this is also direct cost. And also, according to Marshall, because it is directly related with production, and therefore this cost is also known to be main cost. Now, say for example, price of raw material, wages paid to laborers, transport expenditure, these are all known to be variable cost. Now, in order to understand this concept of variable cost, let us have a look at an imaginary schedule as given over here. In the first column there is units of output, and in second column there is total variable cost. So as it can be seen over here that initially when production is zero, variable cost is also zero, but as production increases, the total variable cost also increases. But if you observe the trend that up to 30 units, variable cost is increasing at a diminishing rate. See, when production was zero, variable cost was zero. When production increased to 10 units, variable cost increased by 80. Similarly, when further production increased to 20 units, variable cost increased by 70. From 150, if you deduct 80, so answer obtained is 70. That means now variable cost has increased by rupees 70. Similarly, when further production increased to 30 unit, variable cost has now increased from 150 rupees to 210. That means now variable cost has increased by rupees 60. That means here variable cost is no doubt increasing, but it is increasing at a diminishing rate because increasing return to scale is applicable. Now similarly, when 30 units have been produced, so after 30 units decreasing return to scale is applicable, and due to that variable cost is increasing at increasing rate. Like after 30 units, from 30 to 40 units, total variable cost has increased from 210 rupees to 290. That means an increase of 80 rupees. Similarly, when 50 units are produced, so the total variable cost has increased from 290 rupees to 390 rupees. That means a increase of rupees 100 is over there. Now, on this basis, when a diagram has been prepared for total variable cost, so as seen in the diagram, again on x-axis output and on y-axis total variable cost has been shown. So as production increases, total variable cost also increases, and therefore variable cost has a positive slope, and it moves from left to right in an upward direction, which means that as production increases, this total variable cost also increases, and because it is directly related with production, it is also known as direct cost as well as main cost. Thank you, students.